both saw that.
Yeah, and then, I think as soon as I get back, I'm gonna get the right one done, because,
Okay.
you know, it's good to get it all done in the same calendar year for,
Right.
you know,
Well-
finances and all that. So probably early November on this side, but that one will be a little bit harder because, you know, I'm
Oh,
right-handed, so
yeah,
it's okay.
right-handed.
It's okay.
Aw.
Hopefully when all's said and done, it'll feel better.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
It will feel better, and I know a lot of people suffer
Yeah.
with that, get the bandages and the wraps and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, since Steve's not here, I'll call the meeting to order.
Okay.
And first on the agenda is the minutes from the last meeting.
Okay. So, let's see, that's the April 24th one, so, okay,
Yep,
very
that's
good.
it.
All right, so, I got it, okay.
You take, you.
So Steve called the meeting to order at 5:30 PM. Sherry and myself read the minutes from the meeting of February 27, 2025. Jody motioned to approve the minutes and Steve second. Vicki explained to the board that the township needs to switch our banking to First Bank from US Bank because they are no longer located in Centerville. Sherry made a motion to move our banking to First Bank Centerville. Jody's second, motion carried. Jody made a motion to adjourn the meeting, and the meeting was adjourned at 5:37 PM. Go down in history as one of our longest meetings ever.
Yes.
So,
Okay, now do we have a motion to accept the minutes as read?
Well, am I allowed to do
Yeah,
my
since we're
own?
only two of you.
Yeah, so I guess I make a motion to accept my own minutes.
And I will second it, or
Okay.
should I, or we just?
That's fine.
Yeah, is that good? Okay,
Okay.
that works. Okay,
So,
You
so
did-
we'll
did
continue
vote
on
on it.
here. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Well,
try
let
to
you
write
get-
and catch up.
you
Yeah.
Yes, can you do that?
Yes,
we're
I
just
sure
going
can.
to look at the budget for 2026. This is a public hearing.
Mhm.
The adoption meeting is
Yes.
the 24th. And then we have another meeting, which is a public hearing / approval meeting, the 27th, or 8th, on we have a new fund we have to fund. It's called, two funds. But the next one's just a resolution.
It's the 29th.
Yeah,
Okay,
29th.
29th. Well,
Yeah, that's what you had told me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know dates. I have a lot of stuff happening this month.
That's okay.
So,
I have one on the 24th,
mhm.
and then we have one on the 29th at 5:30.
Yeah, it's gonna be the approval / adoption meeting.
Yeah.
So we have two new, Sherry, so you know, we have two new funds we have to create because, Indiana, in their legislative brilliance, and I don't care if that's on film, said, hey, we're gonna go get some money from the trustees because they have money. So they're saying, you guys have to create a infrastructure and road fund, which is really, it's really nothing if you don't have any money to go into it. And they're gonna take 30% of if we have money left over in our, general fund or our rainy day. The other three funds are restricted. They are fire, EMS, community fire, and poor relief. They can't touch those. So we have to do the truck thing, and it's a resolution. It's really that. It's nothing else. The CIP, the capital improvement plan, we have to create a wish list. Say, this girl that's a CPA, she said, think of it as like when you were little and you had a Christmas list of all the things that you want to do, and it don't have to be done like next year, the next year. It's a wish list for
Future
extended time. So to put in, big expenditures that you would probably spot. So that's where you would put money in for the future. So you don't have a lot of money left over because the state's going to take 30% of what we have left over. So
there's been a lot of talk about roads and the taxes it takes to,
so if you take the money out of those two funds, if you have any left over, that's 30%. That's what's going into the roads and infrastructure fund. So we don't create we just have to have a resolution that we have it, and then the state will they'll come by and say, hey, well, we're gonna put 30% in there, and then we're gonna draw it out when we need it. So that's kind of how that works. We don't have anything to do with putting the money in there, that automatically goes. Then, which is nice, but we have to create, and it's gonna be a,
Will that be an increased amount over what we normally get, or will
we're
it?
not gonna get it,
No.
we're gonna give it.
You're
Right,
gonna,
but I
get-
mean, I thought we were making,
you're gonna get less.
we're making
Yeah.
an account, and they're
Resol-
taking the same amount and putting 30% in that account, so we are gonna get less, right? Is that?
Well, they're
what I
gonna
understand?
take what we have left over, and they've never done that.
Oh, okay.
This is a brand new thing, so when we have, if they go in there and say, hey, they've got like, you know, say, this is just because I see this amount, $3,250 left over, I'm just looking at this amount.
Mhm.
Sorry.
So they're taking 30% of that and putting it in the infrastructure roads fund. But we have to have a resolution that we have that fund.
Mhm.
You know, it's not gonna be, it's not gonna be black and white, and we don't ever have to mess with that because it's gonna be automatically put in there, okay?
Mhm.
It's just that, hey, you know, Center Township, Wayne County has that fund, good. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a nightmare. And then we're possibly gonna get less lit taxes, which is local income tax, because of the cuts for the property tax. So they're gonna get less property tax because they cut the funds, and so Indiana said, hey, well, we can make that up with getting that money from the trustees. So it's just another way to get rid of us.
Yeah,
So just know that that's,
it's been a long time coming.
I mean, if we don't have any left over, then that's okay, but we just won't have, you know, we don't hardly ever see the ending, you know what I mean? Okay. So but our budget is fundable according to the DLGF and everything.
So
We need to
I'm
get-
indicating that you were explained that we need 2 new funds for roads and infrastructure, and then the second one is for.
CIP, it's called the Capital Improvement Plan. And that's for, future projects. If we wanna have future projects, and then we have to put like amounts in there that we get quotes for, okay? And those quotes don't last but like a few months, so, but you know, it's what we project. And we're gonna go over that sometime about what we need. If you ever been to the cemetery, you'll see that we need, a new pavement. We took a tree down, cause it was falling, like big limb, on a huge limb. That thing was huge.
Sorry.
Well, take it if you need it. So we had it cut down, and then we had the stump removed. So now, the ladies, the family who bought the plots in front of the tree, they would like a tree replaced. So that costs like $300 and some, cause I've already looked into it. And I said, that we can do. I mean, that's not extreme, that's not an absorbent amount. So the tree costs about $249. And it's fast growing, it's called sugar maple. It has beautiful leaves, they're like orange and red in the fall.
Yeah.
So, I just went out to the, nursery yesterday, and she said, well, I have one of those called, a festive sugar maple. And she said,
And I
yeah,
assume the roots won't.
they never had, those
The
other
roots
ones,
won't go in and.
they didn't,
destroy
I mean, it's gonna be down enough, I guess, but I mean,
Mhm.
but their headstones are not directly under the tree, they're back here, they're in front of it a ways. So anyway, I told her, so when I get that tree planted, don't you know that I'm gonna take a picture of it and I'm gonna send it to her. Yeah, but she's super nice, that lady's nice. And then I did get the sign up about it being, in the book, the cemetery is in registry, and the sign is beautiful, and I got a post for it, but I was like, I want a black post, because the the fence is black and everything. And that sign looks really good on that black, cause the sign is like a royal blue with, yellow writing. So you might wanna go out there and see that, but I'm excited about that. But I just I put it up. I didn't have a ceremony, but I might write something up in the Western Wayne News about it, cause I like all of those people that, people buried in there to see it.
Yeah.
I get a lot of, people having, you know, they need to buy a plot, or, I don't have very many of that anymore, but I did have somebody complain about their loved one's plot, and I was like, he doesn't even have a headstone. How is that possible? So I'm a little bit upset about that, but we're gonna get some dirt in there, and cause it's all sucking down, and level it out and mow it and all that. But it's a lot of work, that cemetery, girls. And so anyway, this is our new budget. This is our old. I got one if you want to compare. It's not a lot of home. It's not a lot of difference. We increased a few things just because we might not get that money next year. So why not go ahead and get it appointed this year? I talked to our DLGF, he's our district local guy from SBOA, which is State Board of Accounts, and he was super nice, and he told me we had a fundable budget, so I was like super excited. I'm getting really good at this, girls. I'm kind of scared. So I increased the funerals, burials, cremations.
Yeah,
I have had, I don't know, 3 this year,
I think so.
Wow.
3 or more, and that's crazy. And last year I had like 5, so I increased that. I increased everything in there a little bit, because even though we don't get lit, some of our property taxes don't go to poor relief, so we have to increase it as a budget time, so we don't run out. Because like me and Jody were talking, rent goes up, utilities are going up, so we have to adjust for that, and we can't wait to run out and then ask for additional appropriation. So that's why it increased a lot of that stuff, because of rent and everything. It just makes sense, to be honest. And then our stuff, when I just got checks, I was down to our last book, but before I got to our last book, I called Boyce and got 5 books of checks, cost $528, and there's only 50 checks in a book, so.
Checks are stupid expensive.
Isn't there somebody else that,
I would love to know.
You can't do it because of State Board of Accounts approval.
yeah, but I meant they were, gosh, I can't remember who it was I was talking to. And, they got it approved through State Board of Accounts.
Okay.
But I can't remember, this was last
A
year.
company?
Yeah, a
Oh.
company,
Wow.
because Boyce was so expensive.
Well, they're so expensive because they don't do in-house anymore. They sold their printing. So somebody else does their printing, and then their shipping's more. And I gave them an earful a few years ago about their
Yeah.
shipping. I go, what? And that's how I know, because I asked Boyce, the guys were there at a convention that
Yeah,
Richard
yeah.
was at. And I said,
Oh,
why
yeah.
is that shipping so high?
Yeah,
And they told me that they had sold their printing. They don't do in-house printing
Right,
anymore, and
right.
went to somebody else, and that's
Yeah.
why the shipping's so high.
we used to get our payee checks,
Yeah.
you know, from there, and they messed it up one year, and so they put the sheet that we keep, and then the sheet that goes for the accounting, and then the check, and they had it reversed.
Oh no.
So it
Oh no.
made, it was quite a mess.
Yeah.
That was, gosh, that's been about 5 years ago, I
Yeah,
think.
but so we don't have. I mean, that's what happens when you go that route. So anyway, everything. I'm going to that training. It's conference, the educational conference, the 21st through the 24th, and, but the 24th, I'll be back because it ends at noon. But, I'm gonna learn some things, girls,
Yeah,
and,
I remember those conferences. These trustees, former trustees, take all of us to the convention. We got to sit in all of those meetings, and pretty interesting.
well, there's one if you wanna go, it's the 21st through the 24th. Sunday is the 21st, and I found out that they have training on Monday, which they never had before. And I'm like, there's like 4 classes.
Yeah, yeah.
And one's for delegates, because if you're in good standing and an ITA member, you're a delegate, so you get to sit in on voting for new laws and stuff like that. So, I've never done that, so I'm gonna do that this year.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And then they have a class called, ethics in business.
Oh, really? Okay.
I took an ethics class at Ivy Tech, and that was the best
Yeah,
class. And our
yeah.
teacher, he was fabulous, and then he passed.
Oh,
Yeah. So, but he was the greatest teacher. If you seen him, you wouldn't think, you'd think he's real stiff and real slow. But he was super great. I mean, he was like, very good at his job, because he used to work in government, or he used to work in the big name companies and stuff like that. So he was a party to a lot of that culture that, not necessarily up and up stuff. Like they'd have parties and they'd bring in girls, and he said, yeah, that happens. So it's like, wow. So I was like, oh my God. So anyway, it was.
Are these next 2 dates, they're September dates, correct?
Yeah.
September 24th and 29th,
Yeah,
so
all
I'm gonna,
September.
yeah.
After that 28th, we are good till January or December. So. And that's when we have to sign a bunch of stuff. But I will have the roads and infrastructure resolution typed out. I have to type it because I found a template, and I'm like, oh, I'll use that. So yeah, we're finding a lot of things. It's just for a resolution, but it is a resolution, and that's what it's called, roads and infrastructure. I don't have to explain the thing in the resolution, just that we have it. And that's it, ladies.
Okay.
I'm sure it's hard for y'all. But yeah, that means in Indy, it's at Noblesville now, and it's at the Embassy Suites. They built a brand new one. It's really pretty. And we're staying in the hotel behind it, at the Residence Inn, and it's brand new. So it's built up over there. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed some of the topics. I think they're running out of ideas because all these topics are like weed and fence, really, and then about cemeteries. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
and it's like stuff like township assistance, part 1, part 2. I was like, okay. And it's like, we've had these before, but they want you to give them ideas about things. And then there's a class on the CIP, and she's a CPA, and her name's Paige, and she's with the company that the town uses.
Yeah.
Honey, what's the town that called? It's okay. She does, she works for them.
Baker Tilly.
Baker Tilly, and she's gonna talk about that.
Okay.
So I'm taking that one, of course, and I'm taking the ethics class, because you get a certificate, and we have to go to get hours training, like they do at the town, the CPUs.
Continuing education.
So, yeah, thank you. So that just started, so I'm gonna get a certificate. I've got some in ITA. They have like a list. You can print them out if you would like. So I might have to get some frames. and put my stuff in here, but,
I'll see if I've got any information from when I used to go, cause there was a lot of classes.
see, and then they don't have, I mean, they have them, but they're like the same classes. It's like, come up with something new, people. They have like working with your community, working with other thing, you know, look, fire's huge. And, my friend Jeff and he's talking about, he made a fire district in Fountain City when he was a fire chief. So they have a fire district.
Right.
Some places have fire districts. We don't have to worry about that because the town owns the fire department. We just help them out with, you know, we fund the township. We give them money to protect us from fires and stuff. And then we buy them, equipment that they need. So they just came to me the other day and needed gloves and something else. And I'm like, yeah, we can fund $3,800. So, I mean, we have a fund for that. You can see it's the community fire fund is like, that's what we use. Money in there, we put money in there, and that stuff's just going up as well, so anyway, so yeah, we put money in there for that, and then we have the money in the, EMS, Township Fire and EMS for, we have the for fire protection, and we pay for half of that new fire station too, so. Anyway, that's what I got. It sounds like not, it's like, well, Vicki, just throw this together. Yeah, it's a lot of work, ladies. And then you go, and then you're like, you know, grit your teeth, and you have this, wind it up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll wind it up, I'll tell you later.
I think you need to.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
And so we need a motion to adjourn the meeting,
Okay, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
and I'll second it.
Okay.
And our next meeting will be on the 24th at 5:30.
Okay.
Okay.
And then can you tell me the time right now, please?
It is 5:59.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay.